Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can add realistic or PBR textures to your Roblox GFX. And I've had a lot of people asking me how you do this because I do it in Blender, and I guess a lot of people have said that it kind of looks like Cinema 4D, but in Blender, so you don't have to get the other program. This is just how I do realistic textures, and a lot of people have been asking for this tutorial, so I guess we will just get started. And if you want to know how to make your own Roblox GFX, be sure to watch my Blender 2.8 tutorial. I'll have it linked in the top right corner in the info card so you can check that out. I'll also have a couple other tutorials linked so you can check those out. But anyways, we will just get started. So first we are going to be making a folder on our desktop like we normally do at the beginning of any of my tutorials, and we will just name it tutorial. There we go. Now we need to go and find a texture that we want. So we'll open up our web browser and go to Google and look up free PBR textures and just search that. And of course you can look up ones that are paid if you want to. Some of them you have to pay for, so if you want to you can, but usually I just use these ones. And these are the two websites I usually use. It's CC0 Textures and Free PBR Materials. And I'll have both of these websites linked in the description below so you can find them. So I think we will be using CC0 Textures today. It is my preferred website because they have a lot more textures than the other one, but you can use whichever one you want. I kind of mix and match for my needs, so just whatever website works best for you. So now you are going to look up what kind of texture you need. So let's say first we want to do a wood floor, so let's just look up wood. Sometimes lots of textures will come up, some won't at all. I mean, you just gotta kind of look around and see what you can find. So if we were looking to make a wood floor, I'd say like this texture, maybe this one would work. Alright, let's go with this one. So when you select a texture that you like, all you need to do is go over here and select 4K. You're just going to click that and save it on your desktop. Don't save it into the tutorial folder, but just save it on your desktop. So we'll just hit save like that and let that save. And now I'll be showing you guys how to do a different kind of texture. So that'll be adding a texture to a plane or a grid that you make in Blender. But if you want to add texture to something that you got from Roblox Studio, say you want to make a realistic rock, I will be showing you guys how to do that as well. So we're going to look up rock and just pick a texture that we like. I think we'll do maybe this one. So we'll just get this texture and then just select 4K again, save it to your desktop, and you can just repeat this for any kind of textures that you want. So we'll just let that save really quick, but let's go back to our desktop. Really quick, I'm going to download a rock from Roblox Studio so I can kind of show you how the textures work, and I will be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I just saved in the tutorial folder a plain old rock. This is just going to be for example purposes, but now that we have our two textures right here, we are going to make folders inside our tutorial folder. So just open that up, and you are going to make a folder for each one of the textures you downloaded. So let's make a new folder, and I'll name this one wood floor, and then the next one I'll name rock because we downloaded just some rocks. You can name them whatever you want, just make sure it's something that you will remember and be able to find later. Now we are going to click on these textures that we just downloaded on your desktop. You're going to double click them to open them, and since they are in a zip file, we've got to take the files from the zip folder and move them over to the folders we just made. So I just opened the wood zip file, so we are just going to copy everything in here and move it over to the wood folder. Just copy to wood floor, and there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing with the rocks, so just double click that to open it, copy all of these files and put them in the rock folder. And then you can just delete these ones off your desktop because we have them saved in our tutorial folder. So that is all you need to do on your desktop. So now we are going to move over to Blender. So we're just going to open Blender up, and the version of Blender I have is 2.81. So that is the version that this tutorial will work for. It should also work for 2.8 though, so don't worry. But first, we are just going to delete this little cube because we don't need it right now. And we will just keep this lamp for example purposes so you can see how the textures work. But first, we will be doing the wooden floor. So with the wooden floor, I will be showing you how to add a texture to something that you add in Blender, like a plane or a cube. And for the rocks, I will be showing you how to add a texture to something you get from Roblox Studio. So first we will be doing, like I said, the wooden floor. So you're just going to hit Shift A on your keyboard and go to Mesh and go down to Grid. And then you have a grid. Just use S on your keyboard, just click S, and you can drag to size it up however big you like. So we will go maybe like that. And now we are going to be adding the texture to it, and we are going to be going to the shading tab. So you're going to go up to the very top, select this little plus, go to General, and Shading. I know it's also at the top up here, but sometimes when you are using a rig to do a Roblox GFX, shading isn't an option at the top, so I just wanted to show you guys how to get to it with the little plus. So now we are here. And what we need to do now is add texture. So first, you are going to go to this little node editor right here. It'll look like a bunch of little boxes, and you are going to click New. Just click that, and then it'll just add a basic texture, but now here's where we are going to be using all our files. So over here on this File Explorer on the left, this is where our next step is going to be. You are going to click this up arrow at the top to try and get to the previous folder, and then go down and select Desktop, and just get to your tutorial folder. Since we are doing the wood first, we are going to open the wood floor folder. Just click that, and then you'll have all these different textures. Now, I am not a pro at this, but I will be showing you guys how I do it personally. There are plenty of tutorials out on YouTube that show you how to use PBR textures, but I'm kind of just giving you guys a really quick tutorial. I'm not sure how to use all these textures, but with how many I know how to use, it's enough for me. So I'll just be showing you guys the strategy I use. So first, we are going to select the one that says color. It may say something a little bit different, but it should look like just the normal texture, you know, like all of these don't look normal, but this looks like the wooden floor. But sometimes with different websites, they'll change the name of this file, but you just want the one that has the color. We are going to drag it out of the File Explorer down into the node editor down here, and now we're going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. I'm going to drag color from this one and drag it to base color over here on the right. And as you can see, that'll give it the texture right there. But now we want it to have a little bit more depth. And this is where the other ones come in. So first, check if yours has a roughness texture. Not all of them do, but as you can see, this one says RG and it kind of trails off. That means it's the roughness texture. So we are going to drag that in over here and take it up a little bit so it doesn't get in the way, just right up here. And then we are going to go to Add. You are going to go to Add, Search, and look up Gamma. Drag that in, and then we are going to connect everything. So you are going to take from the roughness texture, color to the color of Gamma on the left, and then the right color to roughness. And that'll just give it some roughness. I'll show you guys at the end how it is looking because we're not in the rendered view right now, just to save us from a little bit of lag. So I will show you guys how it looks at the end. Now we are going to be adding the height and normal texture. And sometimes the textures will have one called height, and sometimes they'll have one called displace. I am not sure if these are the same things, but it seems to me that I can use either height or displace depending on which one I have, and they do the same thing. Again, I am not a Blender expert, so this is probably completely wrong, but it works for me, so it should work for you guys. So first we are going to drag in the normal texture. And the normal texture should be the one that's blue. It doesn't look correct at all. That is the one you want. You are just going to drag that in towards the bottom, and then you are going to drag in the displacement texture. Like I said, it should say either displacement texture or height texture. It's one of those two, and it's black and white like this. So now on both of those, you're going to go to color space and select non-color. So you'll just click on the drop down and select non-color, and then we are going to be adding in a couple more things. So now at the add right here, we are going to search and look up normal map and drag that in down here, and then you're going to find bump and put that in a little closer to the right. And now we are just going to be playing connect the dots with these and connect them all up. So first we are going to take from displacement color and drag that over to height on the bump map. And then you are going to go from the normal texture, drag color to color on the normal map. And then from normal map, you are going to drag normal to normal on bump. And all these are connected. So finally, all you need to do is drag from on bump. You're going to take the normal and drag it down to normal. And there we go. So it's just setting up the textures. And I'm going to turn on rendered view so you can see it really quick. Let me just move this lamp down a little bit. Have to go back to layout, I believe. Yep. We'll just drag down this lamp a little bit so you can see what it looks like and turn on render view. And as you can see, it gives the floor so much texture, so it looks so realistic. So I'll show you guys. This is it without the nodes we added. Let me just disconnect those. This is it without the nodes we added, and then this is it with the nodes we added. Let me just reconnect those. And as you can see, it gives it so much texture and it looks so realistic. Super fun for GFX. But as you can see, it's still flat, so like it looks like it's 3D, but it's actually flat. If you do want to add some texture, like so it actually goes up and down, say if you're making grass, I will show you how to do that right now. So you are going to go on the right side and go down to the modifier properties. It should look like this little tool. You are going to add a modifier and first select subdivision surface. Click that, and then you are just going to turn up subdivisions. So render, turn it up to maybe 3 and viewport to 3, and then select simple. Next, you are going to go to modifiers and go to displace. Click that and it should put your texture up in the air. Don't worry, we'll fix it. We are going to go down to where we added displace. Where it says texture, hit new, and then on the right, go down to your texture tab at the very bottom. Click that, and then under image and settings, go to this little icon right here and then open that up. It should open all the things that are also open on the left, and you are going to select the displacement texture. And as you can see, it gives it texture, but we don't want it to have that much because then it makes it look crazy. So you're going to go back to your modifier properties on the right and then turn down the strength to something pretty low. You might need to type it in, so I'm going to type in like 0.05. And as you can see, it gives it a texture, so it's kind of going up and down. This is only like 0.05, so you really don't need a lot for it to have a lot of an effect. And finally, sometimes Blender will make it a little bit like jagged and pixely, so to fix that you can go to Object and Shade Smooth, and it'll just make it a little bit smoother. It's really up to you if you want that or if you do not, because, you know, it kind of depends on the object that you are rendering. And that is pretty much how I do my textures. Now I will just show you guys really quick how I do it with objects from Roblox Studio. So we will go back to the layout. And if you want to get back to where you are rendering, all you have to do is go to the top and select layout. And if you want to go back to that tab, just select shading at the top. So as you can see, you can go back and forth to do those. So now I'm just going to move this out of the way and we will load in our object that we got from Roblox Studio for an example. So I'm just going to go to my desktop tutorial and load in the rock we got. All right, we are just going to bring it over. I'm just going to set the origin really quick and bring it over. So as you can see, I'll show you guys in rendered view really quick, so I'll bring the wood floor back over if I can. Just get the arrow. But some stuff from Roblox Studio obviously won't have the same like effects. See, this wood is like very realistic and textured, but this rock is just kind of plain. It has no texture. I will be showing you guys how to add texture to it right now, and it is pretty much the same strategy. So again, we are going up to the top and selecting shading, and we are going to go down here, but we are going to delete its texture before adding the new one. So we're just going to hit the little X next to the texture up here in the node editor, and then new. And pretty much we are going to repeat the same process. So use the arrow going up to go to the previous folder, and then we will select rock and load it all in again. So here is the color, and we will just drag color to base color just as a recap. Then we will take roughness and bring that in, add gamma, and we will add the color to color and color to roughness from gamma, and then we will be adding in the displacement at the top and normal texture at the bottom, and we'll be setting both of the color spaces to non-color. Finally, we will add the normal map right here, and we will add the bump. I really need to memorize where these are, but I always just search them up. I find it a lot easier. Eventually I'll have to memorize. Now we will add displacement to height. We will add normal to normal map, add the normal of normal map to the normal of bump, and finally normal of bump to the normal of the texture. And there we go, a realistic rock. And we are also going to do the same thing over here. So we will add the subdivision surface, turn them up to 3, set it to simple, and then we will add the displacement, new, and then go to here, select the displacement texture of the rock, and then we will just turn it down to whatever we think is good, so maybe like 0.02. And there you go, a very realistic rock in Blender 2.8 for your GFX. I will show you guys in rendered mode. As you can see, compared to before, it is so realistic now. It looks so good, and I hope this tutorial helped you guys out so you can have realistic textures in Blender 2.8 in your GFX. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. I love helping you guys out. So, like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know and I will try to help you guys out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it helped you out, please be sure to leave a like and also share it with any of your GFX making friends that may find the video helpful. If you are new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a future upload from my channel. I make GFX tutorials and do live streams and also do speed GFX, and you don't want to miss any of that, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you do not miss any future uploads. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope this helped you guys out, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.